We've all heard about it, Ozempic. It's the well-known weight loss drug taking the world by storm. And right now, the medical industry is actually racing to create a replica that's as easy as taking a pill.
Here to break it all down is New York Times best-selling author Johann Hari. Johann, great
good to see
you again.
I'm so happy you exist in like 3 dimensions. I keep seeing you on a
We're
flat screen.
We're real now.
You're real. Amazing.
So we have spoken before, and of course you're here in Australia this time around, not on the screen, not in the third dimension. Your interest in Ozempic is very personal, isn't it? Tell us a bit about that.
And then when I first heard about this, right, that there's been this staggering scientific breakthrough, as one of the scientists put it to me, we cracked the code of what controls human appetite. And I immediately felt like, wow, you know, I knew I was about to get older than my granddad ever got to be because he had a heart attack and I had been obese most of my adult life. I knew that I was carrying a health risk, but I also thought, well, this sounds way too good to be true, right? So to research this, I took the drug. I've now been taking it for 2.5 years, Ozempic, and I went all over the world for my book, Magic Pill, to kind of interview the leading experts, the biggest critics, the biggest defenders, to figure out what this incredible scientific transformation is going to mean for all of us.
Well, you said Magic Pill, but as everyone knows, Ozempic or Mounjaro, whatever you take, they're all injectables. Now, the key is if you can come up with the first pill that does this. So how will that work?
Well, the pills work on the same principle as the injections. They're pretty simple. So the way it works is if you ate something now, doesn't matter what it is, after a little while, your pancreas will produce a hormone called GLP-1, which is basically the signals from your body going, hey, you've had enough, stop eating. It's the brakes, right? But natural GLP-1 only stays in your system for a few minutes and then it's washed away. What these drugs do is they inject you, or the pill, you swallow an artificial copy of GLP-1 that instead of sticking around for a few minutes, stays in your system for a whole week. So it has the weirdest feeling, right? I will never forget the first day I took it. I woke up, I went to this cafe up the road from where I live, and I ordered my standard breakfast, which I'm embarrassed to say was a massive chicken roll with loads of mayo in it, right?
Sounds good.
Normally I would, like, wolf that down
Absolutely.
and have, like, still want some crisps, right? And I had, like, 3 mouthfuls, and I was just full. The experience of taking these drugs, they're often called diet drugs, but it doesn't feel like a diet. It's not like you're hungry and denying yourself. You're actually just not very hungry, or rather your hunger goes down to what a healthy person's hunger would be.
OK, so you've said in less than 8 years, half of Australia could be on these weight loss drugs. Certainly, if these pills are accessible here in Australia, that increases probably, you would have to think, the uptake. Are there any concerns about that many people being on it?
Yeah, so there's 2 sets. What you've got to weigh when you think about these drugs is 2 sets of risks. There's the risks of being obese, which I'm embarrassed to say, I did not realise quite how bad they are, the risks of obesity. I mean, basically every disease we fear is dramatically more likely when you're obese. And these drugs reverse obesity and massively improve your health in most cases. If you take these drugs and you were obese at the start, within a year, your risk of a heart attack or stroke goes down by 20%, which is pretty amazing. And you just feel better about yourself. But there are quite significant risks. They're more speculative. So diabetics have been taking these drugs for nearly 20 years now. So we know that there's sort of mild risks, but for some they're more serious. If you've got pancreatic cancer in your family, sorry, if you've got thyroid cancer in your family, probably shouldn't take them if you're thinking of getting pregnant.
We come into this as well.
This is my biggest worry, is... So you've got people who are overweight or obese who are taking them to go down to be a healthy weight. My book is a guide for, you know, I hope people can weigh those risks and think about them for themselves. But there's another category of people who are already a healthy weight or actually skinny, who are taking them to go down to be super skinny. I know that the worst moment in writing the book for me was with my niece. I really love, she's the baby in my family, although she's 22 now. And I was FaceTiming with her and she was saying, she was like joking with me, going like, oh, well done, Johann, I never knew you had a neck before, that kind of thing. And she looked down at herself and she said, will you get me some Ozempic? And she's a totally healthy weight. And I laughed because I thought she was joking. And then I realised she wasn't joking. So I'm really worried, particularly about young girls. And particularly, so Australia can really avoid making the mistake that we've made in Britain and the US, where in Britain and the US, you can basically just get these online, right? Absolutely, these drugs are life-saving and transformative for people who are overweight or obese.
For the right people.
And you should be able to get them from the doctor, but you should have to go to the doctor and you should have to see the doctor, and the doctor should check that you're either diabetic or overweight or obese.
You've hit a good weight. Johann, really great insights. We love having you in the country. Lovely to see you.
Thank you. The book is called Magic Pill for anyone who wants to check it out.
We love it.
Available
Thanks,
now.
mate.
Thank you, Johann.
Thanks so much.
See you soon.